Welcome, guys. Welcome to the live broadcast. Today, today we are going to see why women say that men are using them, and it's exhausting, and that's why they don't want to be in relationships. Let us know on the chats below. You know what you think. What do you think? Like, what's your opinion? So let's see what they're actually talking about here.
How do you feel about paying on the first date?
About what?
Paying on the first date.
Paying?
On the first date.
It depends on the situation. I mean, I don't mind. I've done it before, but I don't
She has done it before. Why? How?
think if a man tell me, like, you're paying on the first date, I probably just won't go.
Is that something that you...
I think
Oh my goodness. Did you see that? Did you see this guy right here? Did you see his eye? His side eye? He finds this man unbelievable. He finds him unbelievable. That is to show you that not every guy is in on this mess, but you know, this guy, he thinks he's tall, dark, handsome, and he thinks that his looks can get him a sugar mama, which he can, but he needs to go for the older woman who, you know, don't care no more. But to go for young women and expect young women to be sugar mamas, dude, that's trifling. This is why women don't want these men. They're not men, they are young boys in a grown man's body. Let's just say it as it is. Like, this is not a man, this is a young person. This is a boy in a man's body.
if a woman likes you, she will.
I just don't like the way he talks. If a woman likes you, if a woman likes you. I mean, it's like he's trying so hard to try to appear sexy. Like, if a woman likes you, dude, I don't care. I don't care. You know? No. I don't care.
Mind paying.
Exactly.
She said you've done it before.
I know, but it was more. She was so hesitant on the answer as far as like, if a man says
Yeah,
you're
'cause-
paying, you wouldn't mind if a man that you like asks you to pay, or you wouldn't mind it, But that wasn't the answer I was looking for.
Okay.
Yeah, on a first date, I don't even know if I like you. And if you pay on a first date, I might just like you. But if you're asking me to pay for you, you're telling me you're not ready to become a man. You're telling me that you're still a boy in here. And I have nothing. A grown woman should never ever mess with a boy. You know, whether they are young in terms of age or they are young in terms of maturity here. You know, this is the kind of man you dump him back into the pool so that he can fatten a little bit. This is not the man you take home. This is not a man you play grown-up games with, because, you know, he's a boy. He's a boy.
This generation of men want submissive provider wives. Like, they say they want a traditional submissive woman, but they also expect her to split the mortgage. As a divorce lawyer, I've seen the math on this and it never adds up. We're watching men ask for the emotional labor of the 1950s and a financial partnership of 2025. They want a woman who is quiet, agreeable, soft-spoken, but also one that works full-time, manages the home, raises the children, and somehow still makes them feel like a king when he enters a room. That is not a partnership, that's a contradiction. Because what they're really wanting is someone who makes money but doesn't make any noise, who only speaks when spoken to, who never nags but always nurtures. And if she dares set a boundary or voice a need, suddenly she's too much. This version of modern masculinity is confused. It wants control without responsibility. It wants submission without support. It wants her to carry the weight emotionally, financially, domestically, but not ask where he's been or why his phone is always on do not disturb. This is not about shaming men. It's about calling out the disconnect Because real partnership isn't about domination or submission. It's about mutual effort, mutual respect, and mutual growth. You don't get to cherry pick the parts of tradition that benefit you and ignore the parts that require you to show up. So if a man wants to lead, he better know how to carry. Not just the bills, but the emotional load, the hard conversations, and the 2 a.m. teething baby. Otherwise, he's not asking for a wife, he's asking for an employee. And if you ask me, no high-value woman is clocking into that job.
How you two prideful.
Yeah, before we go to this guy, this is a thing what men don't understand. Like you want a queen who is smart in here, but when it comes to you, she's so dumb that she overlooks your every fault. Whoa, 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 whoa. Sort of reminds me of, when women are looking for millionaires who are going to give them money. And, and you think like a millionaire is somebody who's always looking to minimize liabilities. And you come here as a woman with just liabilities and you're like, you think he's going to find you like a gem. And it's the same way with men. This woman is educated. She has gone through hoops and everything in her life to get herself an education, to get herself a job or start a business, to do so many things. And you want to joyride her life and drain her energy. Don't you think that she understands that for her to keep moving forward, she needs to keep her energy and she doesn't need a parasite? She needs a partner, not a parasite. These are the things that, and we're not here to shame men. We are here to have you understand that we understand our value at this time. And you have to think hard when you're thinking about empathy and what you bring to the table. You are not the table. And if you are a guy and you're confused about how to go about dating, you don't know about attachment theory, you don't know about love languages, I have a class that I'd like for you to take. It's going to open your eyes on so many levels because it's time that men start doing their inner work. And you'll be surprised once you start doing the inner work how attractive you become to women.
Otherwise, he's not asking for a wife, he's asking for an employee. And if you ask me, no high-value woman is clocking into that job.
How you too pride-filled to pick up a mop or a broom or fold some drawers, but you not too pride-filled to hand your lady half a bill and say you need her to help you. Make that make sense. You got pride in the wrong thing. I'm a man, I shouldn't have to mop. Well, she's a woman, she shouldn't have to pay a bill. But you pick and choose which things you want to have pride about. You calling her, hey babe, can you cover the cable this month? I'm gonna pay the car insurance. You humble then, right? You got all sorts of humility then. You like, well, we partners. Are you partners when it comes to paying the bills? Your traditional gender role, but you do pride for the wash a dish. And I said this before, ladies, if you love cooking for your man, cook for that. If you love cleaning for your man, make sure that house is spotless, my queen. Do your thing. But if you are doing all those things after your ass done worked 40 hours that week, that better have pride in the same things. And
that's the thing. I think that guy said it all. He said it all. He said, you can cherry pick what is traditional and what is not. And that's what men do to want to get away with just misusing women and mistreating them and being unfair in relationships. He wants to be the boy boss. He wants to play boss, but he wants to behave like a boy. He wants to be the head of the household without any sort of responsibilities. He wants a woman to behave like his mama, a woman to be his employee, a woman to be his slave, and he don't want to take responsibility. Ladies, these are the kind of men that we have right now, and you need to run. If you want to protect your mental health, you have to protect your energy. You have to protect your money. Don't be taken advantage of and then say you didn't hear this. Run.
you want her to you good, and you want her to cook for you, and you want her to have your children, and you want her to rear them, raise them, get them to school, and you want her to be your confidant, your peace. So nigga, you need to and too.
You can't be everything to a man. I come from Africa, and women are just taught from an early age don't talk back, be a slave. He says this, he does that. Because you know what? Women are threatened by violence every day. If they speak up, they're threatened by violence. That's why I tell young girls, don't go play grown-up relationship games when you know that in here you're a young girl. Leave relationships to grown men and women who can tussle. Once you have your job or your career or your business, things going, and then you also invest in your mental health and your energy and how to guard yourself, and you kind of feel like you know who you are, that's when you should be getting into a relationship. Because if you get to a relationship with an older man, he's going to use your energy, he's going to drain you.
Always talk about entitled women. These women entitled, they expect half your income. Well, we don't talk about entitled niggas. You expect unconditional submission, but you don't do nothing submit worthy. You expect this woman to bring you peace in an otherwise chaotic life, and you don't do anything peace worthy. You want a woman to respect you, but all you do is disrespect worthy shit. You entitled. You think just because you've been born with balls that you entitled for a woman to follow your lead when you don't do leadership worthy shit. You're entitled as well. You keep saying, these women feel like they're entitled to my money. What money? What money do you have? But yet, we don't never talk about you feeling entitled because you want a woman to submit to you. You want.
Let me tell you, he's saying the right things. When you meet a guy who is making, like, especially if you meet a black guy who is making 6 figures, you're gonna hear it from that man. He's gonna tell you how he's alpha, how he's 6 feet tall, and how he makes money. And this man will not even think that those are not the things that you care deeply about. You know, good for you. You make a living. I expected you to make a living because you're a man, and there is nothing more deplorable than a man who doesn't want to make a living. Okay, good for you. But that's not enough. That's not enough. Okay, so you're 6 feet tall. Okay, fine. Good for you. You're 6 feet tall. But I cannot eat your 6 feet tallness. Can you carry things around the house? Can you fix things around the house? That's what I care about. But you come here telling everybody how you're tall, dark, and handsome, and you make 6 figures. Nobody cares until you start showing that you're a man, that you fix things around the house, you bring money home to your wife, you take care of your children. That's when you start getting a gold star, you know. But you sitting there all fine with your money and your 6 feetness, nobody cares. We don't care.
Don't want me to cook and clean and do all those things, but you're not doing things that require or influence somebody to feel like that it's a good idea to do those things for you. You shouldn't require a woman to submit to you when you ain't doing submit worthy shit. So you
Wild and hilarious. These MAGA guys keep crying that they can't find women, as if it's some kind of feminist plot.
I cannot date a MAGA man. I put it on my dating profile that if you're MAGA, just swipe left. Swipe left. Don't even bother here. I'm a black woman. I voted for that woman, Kamala. Okay? And if you don't think a woman can lead a nation, I don't want to talk to you. Period. Period. Okay? Yeah. And so many things about MAGA that, you know, I don't want to talk about right now.
Like, bro, it's not that deep. You're just not someone women want to be around. And that's not some great mystery. It's actually pretty simple. It's not because you're conservative either. It's because you're insufferable. You've built your whole identity around being pissed off at everything around you. You think empathy is weakness. You think women owe you attention. And
you guys, MAGA people have the worst attitude. You tell them even facts about Project 2025. They're like, oh, they really didn't mean that. They deny things, even stuff that you can see with your own eyes. They're going to deny it. They're going to make excuses, you know. Excuses. Even when you say like, oh, Donald Trump is a convicted criminal. And they're like, well, you know, they were just fishing for things about him. Okay, then you leave that, you know, you're like, okay, what about the jet? Is that like Like, what about the 400 million jet? You know, what about women's rights? Like, all these things, like, I don't know. And then the biggest thing that they bring up is the transgender athlete people. There are like 50 of them in a whole nation of millions of people. I'm not gonna scramble about 50 people who are playing in a woman's league. There are 50. I can't even name 10 of them. This is their biggest issue. Like, it's insufferable. You guys are insufferable. This is why, for me as a woman, I just can't live with that at all.
You confuse being loud with being a leader. That's not masculinity, dude. That is insecurity in a red hat. You walk around acting like love is something that you are entitled to just because you have a job and a pulse. Meanwhile, you guys treat women like they're second-class citizens, throw tantrums online, and call them females like you're narrating a wildlife documentary. You're not single because women are broken. You're single because you are. And the worst part, you guys are so unaware of your own self, you don't even realize it. You think women don't want you because they've been brainwashed by liberal media or some other BS. Nah, man. They just see it clearly now. They see that you've radicalized yourself into this bitter, emotionally stunted husk who thinks being mean makes you interesting. You scream about traditional values, but you live like a child. You want a submissive housewife, but you still live in your mom's basement surrounded by Funko Pops and empty Monster cans. You can't even protect your own sense of identity, and do you think you're ready to lead a household? You guys also post selfies in the gym with captions about being an alpha, but deep down you're just another angry guy who peaked at 16 and you never recovered. You think
They're insecure, and there's nothing wrong with being insecure, and I'm not here to shame anybody, including MAGA men. I'm just here to offer help. Take my class. Take my class. I know there are so many people out there that can help you. People like Mel Robbins, Tony Robbins. There are people who can genuinely help you. I can also help you, get in touch with your feminine side instead of always relying on toxic masculinity to get you through life. The world is changing. We are moving from a different energy to another level of different energy, and some of you will be left behind. Now, if you are like, okay, I haven't worked on myself, I was rejected by my father, or my dad did not give me enough support in life, or it was my mom, you still have all these childhood wounds that you haven't healed, take my class. It's a 2-week crash course on mental health. You can start getting the help that you need, and maybe you can start winning with women. But trust me, if you guys don't change, I'm telling you, you're going to suffer in relationships. You're going to keep getting divorces because you're not connected to your heart, and you're not connected to the mind, body and spirit. And when you're not connected to your heart, you go around telling people, the Bible says you should respect me. Respect me. I'm a man. Well, listen. Real men just command respect when they walk in the room, and women can feel that energy just because they stepped into the room. If you have to scream and holler that women should respect you, you should really be thinking about the kind of energy that you're putting out there, because women actually respect men who energetically, their aura exudes respect worthiness. If you have to scream and holler for women to respect you, you're not respectable. Something about you is broken, and women can sense that weakness. They can sense it. You walk into the room, they can sense your weakness. They can tell that you're beta, you don't think. And the moment you even open their mouth, that confirms to them. The moment you open your mouth and you start complaining about how women don't respect you, women actually respect real alpha men. If you have to scream and holler that you're an alpha man, you're not an alpha man. So he says here that you're over 6 feet and you make 6 figures and you're still single. This is what men don't understand. Like making 6 figures and being 6 feet, nothing at all. You will be single still. Nobody cares. And he says, like, you live in New York and you pay New York City rent. Who cares about your rent? Like, your rent is your problem unless you want to live in a hole. That is your problem. Pay your rent and figure out your life situation. Women are not there to be like, oh, you don't live in a hole? Oh, he's a star for you. He's a gold star for you. Oh, you managed to make a living? Oh, wow. Dude, these are expectations that women expect. You're a man, you should be able to make a living. Oh, you're good with money? Okay, so how does your good with money benefit her? Are you taking her shopping? Are you paying her rent? Are you helping her, with her business? You being good with your money, good for you. Bye. Hello? And you're good with money unless it's flights, foods, and convenience. I don't even understand that. And you're not single because you're Nigerian. He's trying to now play the race card here and say that black men are somehow being discriminated and nobody is choosing them. Well, if you look at dating sites, they say the most sought out after men are white men. I don't know whether after that is black men, but I'm assuming because after that could be black men or Asian men. I don't know. I don't care. But it's not because you're Nigerian that you're single. It's because you haven't worked on yourself emotionally. You're stunted emotionally. You don't know how to be with a woman because you never thought highly of women, and now that you're single, now you're starting to play the race card that's why you're single. No, go teach yourself how to be a man. And being a man means that you're empathetic with women, you're generous with women, you make them laugh, you don't drain their energy. You come home, you see her, you try to make her laugh, you play the guitar for her. I don't care what you need to do, buy her flowers. Just first of all, keep that woman happy, smiling, and feeling good. Okay? Then use your energy because you have strong muscles, you're 6 feet to clean the house, or because you make 6 figures. Oh, you can employ somebody to come and help her with chores at home so that she is not drained 24/7. She still has some energy. Now that's when we start thinking about you as a man. Before you do any of those things, you're a boy. You're a boy and you should go play boy games. Don't come here trying to play man and grown man and woman games without working on yourself emotionally. Now, I'm not here to shame you. I'm just going to say this because people need to say this. Like, somebody has to say this. It's a problem. If you really need mental health help, take my classes. 2 weeks crash course on mental health. Understand the nitty-gritties of mental health and take your game to the next level. You will become a better person. You will get better at relationships. You will start to understand women better, and you will heal all those masculine wounds of toxic masculinity, and you'll become a better person. A lot of men don't understand that they have been raised in a toxic masculinity culture. It's not their fault. I always say it's never your fault. It's the environment. The environment has long told men to not cry, to not show emotions, to not do all these things, right? But when it comes to having a relationship with women, they need to show certain kinds of emotions that women value, that women connect with. You can't be a person who doesn't talk, who is like a wall. Like a woman tries to have a conversation, you're out the door like a little boy, and then you expect that you're going to have a connection with a grown woman. That when you come in, you're asking for her money, you're forcing her to have intimacy with you. Like, what kind of an animal do you want to be for the rest of your life? You have to change. Something has to change, you know. As you mature up, women expect that you make some certain changes, and some of you are not brave enough to take those changes because you're just scared of what you don't know. You know, if you want to take the class, I'm offering you the class. But otherwise, you know, good luck with your life. And yeah, please stay on your own if you don't want to work on yourself, because women deserve men who are not toxic. We don't need more diddies. We don't need more women who pay. We don't need more men who pay porn stars. You know, we just don't need any more of that. So thanks again. Thanks for tuning in to Post Traumatic Bliss. My name is Kanini, and until next time, God bless you.